Okay, we have a 2005 Ford Explorer that has the infamous ticking actuator for the hot and cold. So you can't dial in any heat on this vehicle. It just stays cold. So in the wintertime, they was trying to get heat, and there was no heat that they could get out of the vents, even though the engine was fully warmed up. And so they asked me to take a look at it. And the first thing I heard, if you get down here to this corner right here, and you turn the heat selector from cold, and hopefully you can hear that ticking sound. It's a ticking sound that when the actuators go bad, and that's pretty common on a lot of different vehicles. These actuators have plastic gears in them and the teeth break off. And as the motor turns in the actuator, what you hear is those gears trying to grab, and there's not any teeth in one or two locations, and you get that ticking sound. So you got to change the actuator. That's a sure sign that the actuator is bad. Now, more than likely it's just the actuator, and the actuator just got old and went bad. There's also the possibility that the door itself was stuck, and that caused the actuator to go bad. So you got to also make sure when you pull the actuator out that the door will freely move. But you can turn that all the way to heat. So what's happening is the door is staying in the closed position, or rather the cold position, so there's no heat coming in. And whenever you go back to cold, the ticking will generally stop, because that's where the actuator wants to be anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this apart, and I've never done one of these, so this will be my first time. This will be a real world scenario on how long it'll take to change one of these actuators. I do know this console's got to come out. The actuator's right here. So the console's got to come out so you can get access to it, and I hope that's going to be enough access. It's not in the easiest position. You can barely see it from underneath the dash. You can look up in there and you can barely see the actuator. In fact, I'll try to show you that. Let me go ahead and turn the key off. See if I can show you. Let me get something to kneel on. Okay, you can kind of see the actuator right there. Hopefully you can. It's that white thing. So this is where I'm at, underneath the dash. Okay. And then right there is where that actuator is. Now this car's got a few miles on it, and it looks to me like there's already stuff that's been taken apart once or twice, which may be helpful for me, but even if yours isn't, it's not going to be a big deal. So the first thing that's got to happen is this console's got to come out. Now the console, you've got, looks like 4 screws down in the bottom here. It looks like there was a screw right here at one time. Now the plastic, this little plastic liner was in here. I pulled that out. I pulled the liners out of the cup holders. But yeah, it looks like there should have been a screw right there. So yours should have a screw there. That'll have to come out. This little side deal is gone already. This one is there. So let's see if we can get it out real quick. That's all it is. That frees up the side of the console. I'm hoping once these screws all come out that the console, I can just move it back enough to get it out of my way. So I'm going to get these 4 screws out here. Oh yeah, I think I saw some back here. I can't tell I've got to move the seat forward. I can't tell if there's actually looks like the screw's already out of that side. I don't know about the other side, but anyway, yours may have screws down here. I think they're supposed to. If so, take those screws out. Let me get the screws out. I'm going to pull that console back. Okay, so I got all those screws out. This piece here's got to pop up. And if you got a power point right here, then you need to disconnect it. Let me get that done. Hold on. And then you've got a couple 10 millimeters right here. And I think okay, a couple down in here too. See them? So let me get my 10 millimeter socket set up. We got a wire running back there, but there's a connector right here we can disconnect if we need to. Found an old quarter. Okay, so let me get those out. Okay, there's also 7 millimeters here. Got one here, one here. It looks like there should be one here and one here, but they're already gone. I think, yeah, there we go. So that whole thing comes out. I'm going to disconnect this connector and the whole console will pop on out of here. Okay, it looks like this duct right here, looks like it'd be easier if it was out. It looks like there's one 7 millimeter right here. I'm going to pop it out and we're going to see if this will come back down out of there. And I don't know if this is necessary or not, but get it out of my way anyway. And there's that actuator right there. The dash is a little flexible right here, so you can kind of pull down on that a little bit and you know, get a little bit of movement out of it. I think, I'm not sure what size those are. 8 millimeter, I think. Yeah, I think they're 8 millimeter. Let me get whatever tool I'm going to get set up, and then I'll show you how I'm going to get it out. So this is what I'm using. It's just a little mini 1/4 inch ratchet with a short 8 millimeter socket. Now you could probably also use a gear wrench, but this works perfect for this job. See if I can. Trying to hold the camera in the spot and get this on there. I think there's 3 of these we got to take off. So let me get those off real quick. Okay, 5 minutes later, actuator's dangling by the connector. And there it is. Now the first thing you want to do is, before you even go trying to put it back in, is make sure that it is going to be the same actuator. And it looks like it is. So there you go. I'm going to reach up there, make sure the door moves, and then I'm going to screw this back in. And then I'll come back and show you if it works. So far, I'm probably about 15 minutes into this job. Getting the console out was the biggest deal. This was 5 minutes. Probably not even that. This little deal, once you're able to get it up there, I was able to get up there and angle it slightly to where I could zip this side off pretty quick. So it actually worked out nice. So this only goes in one way. I don't know if you can see how this shaft is, but it's designed to where it's only going to fit in there one way. So you don't have to worry about getting it clocked right. But you do need to make sure that the door itself moves free. So then I'm moving it with my finger, so it seems like it's fine. Anyway, it's kind of hard to hold the camera and get this position and get those screws out because you kind of need both hands. So sorry about not letting you see that part of it, but anyway, let me see about getting this at least positioned up in there, and before I put the screws in, I'll come back and show you. Before we go any further, I do want to say that I do think there's normally a bracket right here. There's a bracket on the other side, and I just pulled this carpet back, and you can see where it looks like someone just ripped it right off the floor there. I guess there's some kind of threaded insert there or something. And they just busted it right off the floor at some point in time. So I didn't have to worry about taking that bracket off. So yeah, if you have a bracket there, it looks like there's just 2 fasteners up here. Pull the carpet back, and I guess there's going to be 2 fasteners there. I could look on the other side, but I mean, there's got to be fasteners there. I'm not real worried about it. Anyway, let me get this thing up in there. Okay, I've just got it slid up there, and what it is, I just pulled back on this corner to give me a little bit of room and visual direction. So it's slid in there real nice. About to just put the screws in. Okay, it's all bolted in. There's three screws, if I didn't say that earlier. And that very top one, right up in here, wherever the heck it's at, is the toughest one. But it's doable. I got all 3 of them back in. And now, let's take a listen. And see if that took care of our problem. So we're still in cold. No more clicking, and you can hear the actuator driving the door. Hopefully you can hear that anyway. It sounds the way it should, and seems to work fine. So now, putting all this back together. So far, I'm probably about 30 minutes out here doing camera work. Also take about 5 minutes away for trying to get the camera turned on in the right times to show this. But so now, throw this duct back in, slide the console in, put the screws back in the console, and then this is going to be done. So if I had to guess, this could probably be done easily by the first time doer with hand tools without cordless in an hour. So anyway, once I get it put back together, I'll turn the camera back on and show that. But yeah, as of right now, I'm probably about 30 minutes into it total. And next time I do it, I'll probably be able to do it in 20 minutes. So anyway, we'll see you in a minute. And also, whenever I took this duct out, there was only one screw holding it in. I just noticed that there should have been another one right here. So whenever you guys take your duct out, you're going to have a screw right there. So don't forget the screw. And don't forget to put, you know, like the harness right here where it hooks up with the Christmas tree. You know, those little touches right there puts it back to the way it's supposed to be. This car's got a lot of miles on it. It's been tore into numerous times, it looks like, for probably various things. And half the stuff doesn't look like it was put back together right. So anyway, I've just got the console laying in the back seat. I'm gonna pull it up, slide it in, and button this thing up. Be done with this job. Now, just real quick again, so I got the console slid in, and you know, this is what I'm talking about. Like this right here wasn't fastened down the way it's supposed to be. You know, and it just pushes down into the holes right there. If you see this connector, what this connector is for is if you had the secondary optional power point right here, which is what this is. This one didn't have it. It's just got a cover over it. So this right here, if you see a blank connector, don't worry about it. It doesn't go to nothing. You know, this is one of the things that you get into whenever you tear into something that a lot of other people's tore into, is things that's not reattached properly and stuff. But these two connectors should be snapped down in their respective holes there. This will hook up to that power point, you know, and that part there whenever I'm ready to put it in. But you know, make sure that you're all hooked up there properly. Getting ready to throw the 2 screws in. There should be 4 screws here, but this one only had 2, caddy corner from each other. Anyway, okay. I just wanted to tell you that if you see a loose connector here, it's for that secondary power point that you may or may not have. Okay, console is all back together. Just got to put these inserts in, and this job's done. Total time, probably about 30 minutes. Subtract 5 for camera. If you did it first time, maybe an hour.